Brad Bowman joins us now. He is the Senior Director of the Center on Military and Political Power at the Foundation for Defense of Democracies. Brad, welcome. So both sides here digging in their heels. How do you read this escalation between the United States and Iran?
Thanks for the opportunity to join you. I think the primary source of tension here is that American interests and the goals of the regime in Tehran are fundamentally irreconcilable. It's in the American interest to demand that Iran permanently dismantle its nuclear program and have no enrichment capability. That's why in a recent letter, 52 senators and 177 members of the House of Representatives demanded just that, said zero enrichment capability for Iran. And it seems that the Trump administration and the chief negotiator Witkoff are listening, have made that assertion, and the Iranian foreign minister said that's non-negotiable. So that is the core tension here, that you have the world's worst state sponsor of terrorism inching closer and closer toward a nuclear weapons capability, and America rightly recognizes that's a no-go for a regime that is threatening Israel's right to exist, and that's where it rests, and that's why it's really important, in my view, that there be a real and genuine threat for the use of military force. Otherwise, we cannot expect and should not expect the Iranians to come to the table in any modicum of good faith, which, frankly, I'm not holding my breath for.
Yeah. Israel, meanwhile, says it will take control of the entire Gaza Strip with a goal of demilitarizing the region and getting back the rest of its hostages. Brad, do you think this strategy can work?
You know, I think it's going to be very resource intensive for the Israel Defense Forces that really needs to be focusing on the Islamic Republic of Iran as its number one threat. And the Trump administration has been pushing to bring this war to an end. And there is some tension between bringing the 58 remaining hostages, some of which are still alive, home, and seeking the complete destruction of Hamas, which is far easier said than done. And so the benefits of bringing this to a close is you could allow the Israeli forces to rest, stockpile weapons, focus on Iran, and start to explore normalization with Saudi Arabia, which would be a major win for Israel, for Saudi Arabia, the United States, and a nightmare for the Islamic Republic of Iran.
Yeah. While I have you here, I want to talk about President Trump's phone call with Vladimir Putin. Trump's calling it excellent. He's also talking about some economic incentives for Russia. What do you make of what we've heard so far, Brad, about this call?
It seems to me that the former KGB colonel Vladimir Putin is continuing to do what he does best, and that is be duplicitous and deceitful and to drag things out and extract as many concessions as possible. And I think he's going to continue to play for time, viewing the situation on the battlefield as working to his advantage. And until this administration, the Trump administration, starts to impose serious consequences, additional consequences on Putin, I think we're going to see more of the same from the Kremlin.
What kind of consequences, what further action do you think the United States should take if Putin's not really genuinely willing to play ball?
Yeah, I mean, all the sticks have been for Ukraine and all the carrots have been for Putin. My colleagues, John Hardy and Max Mazelish, recently published a report detailing all kinds of steps that can be taken, including sanctioning the Russian shadow fleet, the means by which they're continuing to export oil. The vessels, the captains, the insurance companies, that's the means by which they're bringing in revenue to fund this largest war in Europe since World War II. There's a lot more steps we could do on that front and also related to secondary sanctions. So less incentives, less focus on carrots for Russia, and more sticks. That's the only way you're going to shift Vladimir Putin's cost-benefit analysis.
Okay, Brad Bowman with the Foundation for Defense of Democracies. Always good to see you. Thank you for joining us this Monday, Brad.
Thank you.